Welcome to Wednesday Web Chat. This is Carl Lewis, your host from Vision 33. Today, we're going to be talking about intercompany with Saltbox. And our good friend, colleague, Sarah Humphreys is going to be leading us through that.
Thanks, Carl. And hello, everyone. Nice to be back on the Wednesday Web Chat with you all. My name is Sarah Humphreys, for those of you who aren't familiar with me, and I'm the partner manager here at Vision 33. Today, Carl has invited me back to talk to you about the SAP Business One Intercompany solution that's built with the Saltbox Platform. So I wanted to start today's web chat by talking about some of the common challenges that we see across multi-company organizations, and that's disconnected, or what we call disparate systems. Disparate systems and manual processes are the most prominent and multifaceted intercompany hurdle. Companies typically trade with each other through subsidiary-specific SAP Business One databases, and all too often, it's just much easier to book the transaction over the phone or by email. This can lead to a loss of important documentation like proper transfer prices, currency, or the appropriate taxes. Now more than ever, multinational companies are facing scrutiny from auditors and regulators, and this is causing more companies to run into serious and costly intercompany accounting problems. If you need to move data back and forth between SAP Business One companies, things can get tricky. So how do we help solve this? The SAP Business One Intercompany solution built with the Saltbox platform is the answer. The Saltbox platform is an enterprise-class, low-code iPaaS solution that empowers companies of any size to unify and streamline business operations, accelerate digital transformation, and increase the ROI of existing investments. Saltbox enables SAP Business One to automate intercompany transactions, processes, and documents between multiple organizations. Things like financial consolidation, purchasing, business partners, inventory, all that fun stuff. Saltbox helps to make that happen. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about intercompany in the demonstration today and give you an example of how two SAP Business One companies transact with one another. So I'll jump over to my Saltbox environment, and this is the demo environment that we use to share information on how Saltbox works. And in today's example, we're going to be looking at intercompany, specifically around transactions. First and foremost, I'd just like to give you a lay of the land. This is the Saltbox dashboard. You can see here I have my intercompany project, as well as a few other projects that I'm working on. As you see with Saltbox, it's a platform to manage all of your integrations. But today we'll focus on intercompany. So if we drill in, I'll show you the project settings first so you can see how that ties together. So on the bottom here, you'll see where we have the connector configurations. We have our master database, which is often the parent company, and we have our second database. And you can have as many SAP Business One companies as you like, but in today, we're just going to be using the two. So let's come back up here and take a look at our workflows. You can see here across my intercompany project, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, quite a few different workflows that I am using to manage the intercompany information flow between two SAP Business One companies. Now let's go over to SAP Business One and put this into action. Here we have the purchasing company or the parent company, also known as the consolidation company in our demo database. And then I have a secondary company opened as well, and that is the sales side, so also known as the child company or the subsidiary. And you'll see the transactions flowing between the two systems as I use Saltbox. Just to give you a bit of an idea of how this demonstration will work, you'll see me going back and forth between SAP Business One and Saltbox to run the appropriate workflows. But just keep in mind that those workflows can be run automatically. You can schedule them to run at an interval of your choosing, but I just like to keep it manual so you can see the flow as I'm doing it. All right, so let's come back to our master and we'll go ahead and create the purchase order. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the appropriate vendor and then add in a couple of items. Let's say this one, and I'll go ahead and add a quantity of 2. And just to quickly note here, you'll see as I have my user-defined fields open that we use these user-defined fields to determine whether or not this is an intercompany transaction. So with that, I'll go ahead and add the purchase order. And just to show you briefly, there it is. And if we come back over to the subsidiary company and we open up the sales order, you'll see that it isn't there yet. So now what we need to do is go to Saltbox, grab the purchase order to sales order workflow. As you can see, it's very much like a flow chart. I won't get into too much detail today, but if you do have any questions about how to build a workflow, we can definitely schedule some time offline and we can talk about that.